Alright, so today we're making a tier list of my favorite games of all time, and this goes across all kinds of gaming systems and different genres and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's just a bunch of games, and there's more below here that you cannot see yet. You see I got a bunch of them here, and then below that there's going to be more that are going to be popping up eventually, and we're going to be placing them in the categories. And I'm sort of just basing this off of my own fondness or enjoyment of the game. I know there's going to be a few games that maybe objectively have a lot of problems, and many people will consider them to be maybe a bit bad or, you know, just like not that good. But because for me they have like a special place, so therefore they're gonna go in a certain ranking, you know. So there's a few that I think will maybe surprise a lot of people, especially if they know them. But we'll get to that eventually. But just so you know, a lot of these are going to be a little bit nostalgia based, so they may not be the best game, like objectively speaking, but I have like a special experience with it, so it's gonna go on the list anyway. Also, there's a few places where I've put several games in one category just because it's been so long since I played it, and I don't really have a very differing opinion on the first game versus the second game or the sequel or whatever. So some of them I'm just gonna group into one sort of thing. Like you can see, for example, I got Mass Effect 1 and 2. I got that in one thing. And then I got, I think I got Halo 1, 2, and 3 as like one thing. Because in my mind, it's kind of like, it's like one thing. And some games I have like separated the sequel and the first one, just because maybe I have a bit more of an opinion on which one is better, you know. And also, just so you know, I may move stuff eventually, so I might place it in a certain tier to begin with, but then maybe I'll change my mind. But we'll just find out as we go. Like, I don't know yet exactly how it's going to play out. We're just going to have to go one game at a time and see how it plays out. So I think we should just start, and maybe I should start with something that's easy to place. And I think one that's very easy for me to place would be KOTOR 1. That's, to me, that's S tier. That's like, you got Star Wars, and you got the like sort of D&D RPG system with the all the dialogue and the quests and the leveling and everything. It's just really good, and it really shows like a very different side of the Star Wars universe than the movies, you know. It's like a very gritty and different period in the Star Wars lore, and it's like it's kind of like my favorite piece of anything Star Wars ever, probably. Maybe I'll put the sequel higher, because that one is just sort of like a, I mean, we could do that straight away. I think maybe I'll put the sequel higher. Just because, especially if you have the like restored content mod and all that stuff, and you just patch that stuff up, it's like, it's such a good game. It's just story and characters and mechanics and the world. And I don't know, some people, I'm not sure, I really like the combat style. It's not exactly turn-based, and it's not exactly like action, if you know what I mean. It's sort of some kind of thing in between. It's just so good. It's definitely some of my favorite games of absolute all time, you know. So I think those two deserve the spot in the S tier. And now maybe we can pick something that's not going to go in S tier, but it's still one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, we could maybe take this one. This is like a... maybe we can put this in C tier. Little Big Adventure 2. This is a weird old one. It's like such a strange game. It's like a sort of adventure sort of game. I don't know how to describe it. It's very, very weird. And but I played this back in the day, and it was just like one of those games that I played a lot. And I think actually I played only like the first section of the game most of the time, but then eventually I learned how to actually get to the next area, and then the rest of the game eventually. But it's like it has a very weird style and characters, and yeah, it's it's one of my like nostalgia favorites for sure. I remember when I got this game, I was like a kid, and I had been to the eye doctor, and I was sitting on like a ferry trying to read the box art, but I couldn't see anything because I was like blind basically, because I had taken some sort of stuff in my eyes from the eye doctor. Yeah, so then I brought this game home and it became like one of my, you know, all-time favorites, although probably a bit nostalgia speaking here, but you know, I really like this one. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, maybe BioShock. I don't know, I really like that one, but maybe I'll put it in D tier, because it's a game it's kind of, this, I guess it's almost like an honorable mention tier. It's like, you know, it feels bad putting a good game at like the bottom of the list, but it's just like, you know, I'm just trying to rank them based on something, you know. And so this one is, I really enjoyed this one when it came out on the, I got it on the 360. I even got the collectible Big Daddy statue thing, which kind of broke a little bit, or at least the valve on his tank broke a little bit, but that's that's not a big deal. Yeah, the weapon upgrades, the world of this, I don't remember what it's called actually now, because I haven't played it in so long, the underwater city, and just going through that, and it's sort of like a horror game basically, at least in certain sections, and yeah, I really like this one. I never played BioShock 2 or Infinite actually, so that's something I still have on my list to do eventually. Okay, let's move on to another game. We can go with maybe another D tier, Conquer Live and Reloaded on the Xbox. You know, I don't know if I would enjoy this game as much now as I did back then, but back then this was pretty funny. You know, you had the section that I played on like a demo from the Xbox magazine or whatever, where you're like storming the Normandy on D-Day with like a bunch of squirrels in like World War II army, you know, attire, and just it's like super violent and over the top, and it's just like really funny. And then when you play the rest of the game, there's like so many different sections, and everything kind of is a very different experience, you know. So it's not just like a I thought it was going to be like mostly like that, like World War II section, just go around and shoot at squirrels, and that's funny. But it's actually like each section of the game takes you through like something completely different and, you know, interesting. And the humor, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much these days, but I don't know, I really enjoyed this one back in the day. And I did play the online thing a bit as well. So yeah, I did like that one. Let's see, let's try to put something in A or B, I don't know. It might be hard to decide. Maybe something like Borderlands, maybe? In B? Actually, I think maybe that goes into D, to be honest. Oof. Yeah, I think Borderlands and maybe Borderlands 2. I think I'm grouping them together a little bit. Borderlands 2 seems to just have more stuff and more polished things. But I did really enjoy both of those. Never played 3 or 4, which is out now, so I never got around to those, or the pre-sequel, although I have it, but I haven't played it. But the world and the humor and all the guns and all that stuff, the bosses, and yeah, just a lot of fun. And it's like a very rewarding gameplay loop of finding a lot of quests and going there, doing it, collecting more equipment. And there's also like funny story moments that you go through, so I really like these. Okay, let's once again try to find something for A and B. It might be a bit tricky, but let's see. Maybe Condemned, Criminal Origins is a good one for A tier. This is like one of my favorite horror games of all time. I played, this was actually my first Xbox 360 game that I got. And I actually got this game before I got the console. So I was just staring at the back of the box, just like thinking about how cool this game was gonna be. And yeah, it's I really like this one. It's like super scary, and the setting is like really intriguing. You're hunting down this like serial killer who is himself hunting down other serial killers, and you're like looking for that guy, and you have to do these investigations through these maps, and it's just like super scary. And there's like a few levels that are just, and a few moments, like the locker room moments. Like if you played this game, you know what I'm talking about. And also the second to last level, it's like one of the creepiest levels in any game, I think. Even though almost nothing happens for like the whole time. You're just like walking through this mansion, and you're just like waiting for something to come, and nothing really happens. It's like you're just like so on edge the whole time. Eventually stuff does happen, but you know, it's like you go for a long time just, you know, nervously searching this big old house. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. We could maybe place Condemned 2, because this one I enjoyed a lot too. I'm not sure if I should put it in A tier. Maybe put it in a tier below. Yeah, maybe, because I feel like it is really good, but it's like there's a lot of weird stuff with this one that like kind of detracts a little bit from it. Like the weird psionic powers and stuff, and it has a little bit of a different vibe to it than the first game. The first game feels more grounded and more like a kind of like crime thriller sort of thing, and this one goes a little bit into like some sort of like, I don't know, weird fantasy mix of, you know, it's a bit strange. It's still really good and cool. I just like kind of wished it would have kept going more with what this was doing, you know. But I still really like it, and yeah. And also the bear sequence in this game, that's like one of the best horror things ever. Like the bear, like I said, if you play this game, you know what I'm talking about with the bear. There was another moment as well in this one that was like super freaky. I can't remember now. There's the bear, and then there's one more that's like really, really scary, but I can't remember it right now. Okay, let's just find some other ones. I mean, Half-Life 2, that's a classic. I played that one a lot on the Xbox, on the orange box. I'm thinking about C or D tier for this one. I might put that at C tier. I mean, it's just like a really solid like shooting game, and it feels like an adventure. You know, you go through all these levels and go through this like whole, yeah, it's like it's one of those games that make you feel like you're sort of on like this adventure sort of, and you get to see different places and different weapons and good shooting and everything. And there's like humor and stuff in it. I like it. So still waiting for Half-Life 3. Let's see. Maybe we should put another, or maybe this. I mean, Binding of Isaac. Maybe we can put that at like top of D tier. It's like, because it's not like a game that I'm like super invested in, or it's like this amazing thing, but it's just like one of those games that I've played so much. It's just like this sort of game that it's like a go-to game when there's like, oh, I got like some time and I'm just sitting here chilling. It's just like, oh, you could just put on Binding of Isaac and, you know, just go for a bit. And yeah, I've played that a lot, way too much actually. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Dragon Age Origins. Oof. Are we gonna we might put that at A tier, I don't know. This is one that I want to replay actually, because I played this a long time ago. It's like one of the best RPGs I've played, I think. You know, I'm tempted to put it like higher, but because it is very closely related to these two, and maybe if I played it again now I would consider it higher, but it's just been so long, and I only did one playthrough, but it was like super epic and just like a really good game. So, but I'm gonna put it here for now. Very solid RPG with just like, and the fact that it's like so related to these two. I'm pretty sure it uses like the same engine and whatever. It's like, it feels very similar, and graphically, the style, I really like what they have going on. It's not like a ugly, outdated sort of graphic thing either. It's like, it looks all right as far as I can remember, even now. Yeah, the characters and from what I remember, the story was good. But yeah, just mostly like the RPG elements of going on this grand adventure and leveling up, and yeah, really good stuff. Okay, let's have a look at something else. Maybe Persona 3. I might put it maybe in C tier, because I've played Persona. Well, actually, maybe we can. Persona 4. We have the Persona games here, right? I think I have Persona 5. Yeah, that's here. I think I might put, maybe, if we do it like this, maybe like that. Maybe that's my ranking of the 3 Persona games I've played. So Persona 3, very, very good. I think the main issue is, and also I did play the remake. I played the original back in the day too, but I don't think I finished that one, but I finished the remake on this channel, by the way. Like and subscribe and watch 100 episodes of that. So I think it gets a little bit like repetitive in the dungeons. I think like that's the main problem with Persona 3. But the characters and story and everything, like that stuff is, great. Persona 4, maybe a little bit more intriguing, and it has like a very special atmosphere to it. It's almost like a Silent Hill type of atmosphere, with the fog and all that stuff. It's like super intriguing, and it pulls you in like some sort of like mystery thriller movie or something. You get really like engaged in that scenario. So I'm really excited about the Persona 4 remake that they're making as well. And Persona 5 Royal is just like, it's so good. Like, I feel like it just improves upon everything, with all the combat mechanics and the story and great characters, and yeah, it's just really good. And there's like so many little mechanics all throughout the game that make it so much more of a richer experience. Just like really good. And always with the Persona stuff, the music is also a good, very good component. All right. Okay, since we are doing some game series, we could also do like GTA, San Andreas. I might put that in S tier actually. That's just like such a good game. That's another game that takes you on an adventure. You start in Los Santos, and then the moment you get thrown into San Fierro and like the woodlands and all that area there with the forests and all that stuff, it's just like the game feels like humongous, although if you actually look at the map, it's actually not that big, but it just like the way it's designed like really feels like the map is huge. And then you go to the desert in wait, what's the name? San Fierro, and then actually can't remember right now. I'm blanking on that. But yeah, you go through these like different areas, and it just really feels like you're going on a journey. And then you return back to Los Santos at the end, to like kind of go full circle. And then CJ goes on this like whole adventure to complete his story. It's just like such a solid game, and great missions and funny characters, and yeah, a lot of activities to do. It's just full of stuff to do, which is great. GTA 5, I really liked it. but I don't feel like it reaches that sort of maybe it doesn't reach that sort of feeling that San Andreas does. I'm thinking about where I should put this now. I mean, maybe here. Really good game, one of the best open worlds ever, probably. Funny characters, good missions, everything. But like maybe once you've done the stuff, it feels a little bit... I don't know, sometimes it feels a little bit, but maybe that's just me. I just remember when I finished the game, I felt a little bit like, oh, I'm done with this now. I don't need to return to this place, if you know what I mean. But San Andreas, to me, that's like a second home almost. Like you've been around all those places and it's like very memorable. So to me, GTA 5 is not as memorable as San Andreas, and this could just be nostalgia. Once again, it's one of those things. I'm pretty sure Vice City is in here somewhere as well, but I guess we'll get to that eventually. Let's go with, I mean, Broken Sword 2, that's one of my like all-time favorites. Oh, it feels wrong because I know that this is a game that a lot of people don't consider to be that good in the series, you know. A lot of people, they go for Broken Sword 1, you know, the original, and that's like the gold standard in that franchise. But this is the one that I had when I played it back in the day, and this is the one that like I have all those memories of. So yeah, it's just like a very fond memory for me, this game. So this is like always like one of the games that I think of when I think of like my favorite games of all time. Even though I know probably the first one is like objectively better, but this is the one I played, and I had like a demo CD back in the day when you had those for like a computer magazine. So I played like the dock section of this game like over and over and over, and then one day I finally got my hands on the full game, and yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure. Although I feel a bit bad putting it above games like this, you know, because I know, like objectively speaking, it's probably not as good as like a lot of this stuff, but it's just, I just have a very special fondness for that game, so it goes in the S tier for me. Let's see, we got Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. I did really enjoy that one back in the day, played that a lot. I'm just thinking about where I should put that. Maybe, I think maybe we can put that here actually. So this one is just like, I really enjoy this. This was like one of those where you could actually go around with a lightsaber, and what I used to do was like turn on the realistic saber combat cheat, which means that basically if you hit somebody with a lightsaber, they're gonna lose anything you hit them with. So you were chopping heads and arms off constantly with that, and it was just like super fun, just like hitting stormtroopers and their legs would just fly off, you know. Just really fun stuff. And although I remember it was kind of difficult at sometimes too. But yeah, very cool Star Wars game. And then there was a sequel, which I think was even better. I'm gonna put it here. You made your own character in this one, and yeah, it was just like, it just felt like an improvement. Although I don't know, they sort of go on the same engine. They feel very similar. I guess the difference is really just mostly the levels and the story. But I felt like this one had a little bit more, maybe like polish to it, maybe. Yeah, I really like those though. So I'm gonna put them in C tier there. Let's see, what else do we have? B tier is kind of empty. Do we have something for that? Maybe... Oh, it's gonna be tricky to put something in B tier. We're just gonna have to... well, we can put this here. This Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I might put it... Maybe... maybe there, to be honest. Very good like action game, not like super complicated or anything, but just like the story and going through that journey with that character. And then at the end he becomes like the, well, spoilers. Well, maybe I shouldn't say too much, but like the ending, he just like, it just gets like so, okay, spoilers, he just gets super overpowered beyond belief. And it's just like super epic, and it's really cool. Sequel, not as good. But this one was, I really like this one. Okay. Diablo 2. That's a game I played a lot back in the day. That could maybe become our B tier thing. I'll put it there for now. Played that a lot back in the day. And yeah, had the expansion, of course. I think everybody had that. And yeah, really good. Played it with my friends and stuff. And I remember, oh, I have a story about this game, which is really funny. So one time I had a friend, he managed to get his hands on this sword that's called like Breath of the Dying. And it's like super powerful and just like really overpowered. And then he was always joking with me, like taking it out of his inventory and putting it on the ground, and then picking it up and throwing it on the ground, like teasing me to like see if I could grab it. And then one time I actually managed to grab it before he took it off the ground, but my inventory was full. So I was just holding it in the like empty void in between our inventories. And he was so pissed off, and he was just like writing in the chat, just like, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. And I just didn't drop it. And then basically he was throwing out more stuff, like, oh, this thing is really valuable, if you can have this if I get the sword back. And then I said like, no, I'll keep the sword, don't worry. I'm just sitting there. And then eventually he had to go eat dinner. I think his mom like called him to come eat dinner, so then he had to just leave. And then basically I took everything, I took all the stuff off the floor. So then I got all his equipment. And then he was very angry at school the next day. But yeah, the game's really good. Okay. Let's see, Metal Gear Solid 2, that's another one that I played a lot on the, I guess it's the original Xbox, I think. I don't think that was 360. I'm pretty sure that was original Xbox. Might have been 360. I don't think so though. Because this was a PlayStation 2 game, so that makes more sense. Original Xbox. Yeah, I think I'll put Metal Gear Solid 2 here. I think that makes sense. Yeah, really good game. I don't really have too much to say. Just a really enjoyable game, you know, with cool characters and a fun story, and, you know, the stealth and action. You know, good stuff. Fable. This is something I could consider putting in S tier, actually. I played this one a lot, and this is like one of those, like, I'm gonna put it here. One of my favorite like RPG, like fantasy action games, I would say. It's super intriguing, the whole system of your character changing over time. And yeah, going through all these like different regions in the world, you know, going through that like werewolf area, for example. And yeah, just like it's one of those games, once again, that feels like you're going on an adventure, you know, with the character. Especially when you get to travel across all these different places. And then there's like all these like things you can find, like the demon doors and the great weapons and cool enemies, and yeah, just really good. And I did like, usually I was like the good guy in the game, but I also did some like evil playthroughs, and just, yeah, it's funny. It's a very good game. Although I never actually got to play the Lost Chapters version, which is something I want to do, so I might do that on this channel actually. Okay, let's have a look. There's other stuff here. Halo 1, 2, and 3. Oof. I mean, I don't think I would put it at like my S tier. Maybe Although Halo 1 was sort of like one of my most important games. So maybe we can put it... Oof. Maybe we can put it here. Yeah, I'll put that trilogy here. Yeah, got Halo on the original Xbox. I think I got like the very first generation of the first Xbox, like just when it came out. And people were like saying, oh, it's not PlayStation 2, that's stupid, why did you buy that? And then you got Halo and it's just like, oh, it's actually really good. And Halo 2, which I finished the same day I got it. So then waiting for him to finish the fight was like excruciating, because I just got the game and just played the whole thing in one day. And then I realized like, oh shit, now I have to wait for Halo 3. Yeah, but yeah, great games. I did play Reach and the first one on this channel, but then I still have to do 2 and 3 on the channel here. I'll do that eventually though. Okay. Oh, here's the other GTA game. I'm thinking I'll put that at maybe... Oof. I might put it there actually. Yeah. The vibe of this game is so good, and the main character is probably like my favorite GTA protagonist. I just think that character is like the coolest one. CJ is cool, and the guys in GTA 5 are cool. Claude in GTA 3 is kind of a little bit boring, but he's like his own thing, you know. But Tommy Vercetti is like he's like the coolest one, I think, and the missions and the vibe of the city and the music again. Yeah, yeah, I think I would put that above GTA 5, even though obviously I know this game has a lot more like stuff in it, you know, but just my like experience, I would put that there. Okay, let's go with something like Time Splitters 2. Oh, this might be a bit tricky to place. I played this one a lot. Really fun game, and the multiplayer is such a fun component. We used to play it split screen, you know, just all of us yelling at each other, looking at each other's screens, and playing like cops and robbers in Time Splitters and yelling at each other. And all the challenges, like that's one of the coolest things about Time Splitters. We might as well put Time Splitters Future Perfect, which I think is like just a bit better. Maybe this one has more stuff in it, but maybe the missions have a little bit more... They have a different character to them. I don't know. Both of them are amazing. I really like both of them, so I'm just going to put them next to each other like that. But one of the things that these games have is like those challenge runs where you can unlock characters. And there's so many characters. It's so fun to just like try to unlock them and try to get like the platinum or gold medals on the challenges. And the story missions are fun, and you unlock new characters for multiplayer through the story mode as well. And we used to play this like split screen, the story mode as well. It's just like so good. Music and stuff like that, and especially Future Perfect has a lot of like funny moments. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Let's maybe go with some horror stuff. Penumbra, maybe a little bit lesser known horror game. I think it's made by the same people that made Amnesia, or it's like very closely related at the very least. I think so. Oh, this is a bit tough to place actually. Do I like it more than Persona and Half-Life? Maybe not. But I think I'll put Black Plague over the first one. The first one is a little bit more... maybe a little bit less scary, because you're mostly... it's like spiders and wolves and stuff, instead of the horrors that come in the second one. So it's like kind of like episode 1 and episode 2, you know. It's like this one is like the beginning of you just traversing these like caves and all this stuff and trying to get to safety. And then this one is when you get to a terrible, terrible place, and there's just very nasty things that really freak you out. I remember the first time I saw whatever the enemies in this game are, just like at the end of a hallway. I'm just like, oh no, what is that? And then I'm just hiding under a table, just like just trying to not be seen by this horrible thing. Super freaky games. I really like both of those. Okay, we still got a few games left. Speaking of horror, I think we can put Doom 3 down here somewhere. Maybe like here. I really enjoyed this one back in the day. It's like really scary. Some of them are kind of jump scares and stuff, you know, but I like this one quite a lot. Although maybe, I don't know if that's controversial. I think maybe some people didn't like this one very much, but it was super scary. And I remember the segment where the chainsaw guy shows up. It's just like, damn, that's one of those moments that sticks out. When you can just hear the chainsaw and you're just like, oh shit, we're in trouble. Okay. And then also, we got Dynasty Warriors. I'm just grouping the whole Dynasty Warriors franchise into one sort of thing here, because I played Dynasty Warriors 2 at a friend's house, and then I played 3 at my own house, and then 4 at my own house, and 5 at my own house. And then I think I played 6 on some, like, I don't know, some PC version. I didn't really get far, but... And then the one I probably played the most is like Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. Like, I don't know, for some reason I really played this one a lot, because it has like this Empires mode that you're like kind of conquering and managing like your kingdom and doing fights that way. And just like, I don't know, I really got into that. So that's the picture I chose, but I mean, it could easily just be Dynasty Warriors 5 or maybe 4. It's hard for me to remember the exact difference between those now, because I haven't played them in so long. So I'm just going to place like my general like Dynasty Warriors experience in here somewhere. And that might be tricky to place. Maybe there? Yeah, I think so. I think that's fine. And I'm saving a few S-tier games for later, just to keep the tension up, if you know what I mean. Let's see, Mass Effect 1 and 2, I really enjoyed those. I think I'm gonna go with A tier. And those are actually games that I'm gonna be playing on this channel eventually, because I have the Legendary Edition, and I never played Mass Effect 3, which is kind of weird. I think it was like so controversial at the time, and I just heard so many bad things about it. I just kind of passed up on it and never got around to actually trying it. But yeah, it's kind of like when this came out, I felt like this was like the spiritual successor almost to KOTOR. And it does have a lot of that stuff in it. But like obviously like a very different engine and universe and everything. But I really, really like these. And I also enjoyed the exploration stuff, like in space, like, oh, you get to land on a planet and like explore and find things, you know, it was interesting. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? We have quite a few things. I mean, we do have Skyrim. Oof, that's a hard one to place, because I know that it's not... Well, I don't want to give spoilers, but it is a little bit like streamlined and dumbed down from like Morrowind and stuff. But it is still like a really good world, and I do really enjoy the game, and I spent a lot of time with it. So this one, it might... I mean, I have spent a lot of time with it, so it's like... I'm tempted to put it in S tier, just because of how much I have gotten a lot of enjoyment out of that game. Even though it has like so many flaws, and yeah, you can watch like documentaries about like how Skyrim is a bad game or whatever, but like it's I don't think anyone can deny that we spent a lot of time having fun in this game. So I think it's fair to no, actually, oh, it's tricky. I don't know. Top of A tier. Oh, it feels a bit dirty. I don't know. Skyrim is a weird one because it's kind of like a loaded thing. But for now, it's there. I'm very skeptical about that placement. It might just deserve to go here, but okay, we'll keep it there for now. Just to see what happens. But speaking of Bethesda, Fallout 3, I enjoyed that one quite a lot back in the day. Maybe I'll put that... Let me think about that. Maybe here. Somewhere in this area, probably. I enjoyed that quite a lot. It's I know it has its problems too, but it's just... I played that at a certain time in my life, and it's just like, yeah, it was really good. And it was very refreshing to play a Bethesda game that was not Oblivion or Elder Scrolls, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm gonna put that there. And speaking of Oblivion, I think maybe I didn't include that. Because I do feel like out of Morrowind, Skyrim and Oblivion, I feel like Oblivion sort of is the weird thing in the middle that doesn't really... I don't know, I feel like maybe... Yeah, if Oblivion was here, which it doesn't seem to be right now, I think I would put it in D tier. But whatever. For now, we'll just move on. We'll talk about Elder Scrolls later. Be sure of that. We got a game here that's gonna have a pretty high ranking. Spoilers. Arkham City. I liked that one quite a lot. That was really fun. Just that open world setting in the Batman style. That was just like so cool, and going around finding the Riddler quests or the puzzles or whatever. And doing missions, and yeah, it felt like a very enjoyable open world game to play. You know, it didn't feel like pointless to have it open world. It felt like really engaging to play. So I really liked that one. And there is a pattern here, like BioWare, like these RPGs, Dragon Age, KOTOR, Mass Effect. We got Jade Empire. That's another one of these games in that style. This one, might be a bit hard to place. Maybe I'll put it in C. Oh, it's a bit tricky though. Yeah, this one is tricky to place. Hang on. This one is very tricky to place actually, but I think I'm gonna have to go... Like, let's see, did I enjoy this more than Half-Life? Probably. Did I enjoy it more than... Okay, I think that's a decent place to put it. Yeah, just it's kind of like KOTOR, but in like some ancient Chinese martial arts setting. Really enjoyed it, and you have like this like sort of evil versus good mechanic in that too. And the fighting system was fun. I remember that. The story was fun, and just the whole setting of the sort of like Asian scenario was very interesting and refreshing. You know, it's not just like, you know, American like shooting stuff in America or blah blah blah. You know, it's kind of like a very different world, and not like a typical fantasy world like Fable. Is more like kind of, I guess like a Western countryside sort of setting, whereas it feels a lot more exotic, if you know what I mean. So to me, this was like a very interesting game. Wasteland 2, I played that, I don't know, a few years ago. And I enjoyed that quite a lot. I'm not sure where to put it in this, maybe here. Yeah, just like it's because I didn't know about these games. I just knew about Fallout, you know. And then I played this and was like, oh, this is kind of like similar, and it's actually a really good RPG, and just like, yeah, just a very fun like isometric RPG with like a lot of skills and upgrade and role-playing potential, and you know, using the different skills to move around the world feels very fun, you know. Really responds to your character builds and everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, but maybe, yeah, but I played this like as an adult, you know, so maybe it doesn't get hit so hard with the nostalgia glasses as some other games, you know. Speaking of Fallout, we do have Fallout 2, and this one is a bit hard to place because I think I just did one playthrough back in the day, and it's so long ago. But from what I remember, it's a very good RPG, and just like, it's kind of like everything this is, but like even more, and it's like in the Fallout universe, which I'm more familiar with. So I think for me it makes sense to put it there, just slightly above Wasteland 2. Well, actually, because this one is tricky because I know as like an RPG, this has more depth than Fallout 3. But the problem is I only played it one time back in the day, a long time ago, and I don't really remember enough to confidently put it higher. Although I think if I played this again now, I would like probably put it like somewhere here or something. So keep that in mind. But yeah, and anyway, like all of these games are games I enjoy. It's just it's hard to place them very exactly like that. And I think actually we were speaking of Dynasty Warriors and that as a whole series. And there is one thing that I enjoyed even more than Dynasty Warriors, and that's the Warriors Orochi series, which just combines Dynasty Warriors with Samurai Warriors, and just puts them all into one game. And it's just this massive thing where you have so many characters that you have no idea what to do with them. And it puts them in sort of like a more supernatural setting, which is a lot of fun. And you also get like some supernatural characters, you know, like Orochi and Daji, and then there's what's that guy? The big guy with the beads around his neck. I can't remember. And Sun Wukong, and yeah, I can't remember all. I'm blanking on that. But I just feel like this was like probably the best thing they could do with Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. Just like mix it together, make like one big epic game with the biggest roster ever. So Warriors Orochi 1, 2, 3, and 4, I played all of them. It's hard for me to say exactly which one is best out of all those four. I feel like maybe the fourth one felt a little bit like too different, maybe. So maybe 3 is the sweet spot. But yeah, all of them I enjoyed. It's just it's tricky to nail it down exactly. Okay. Dead Rising, that was another one on the 360 that I enjoyed a lot. I think I could put that... Might be reasonable to put that... Maybe here? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just going around the mall and just killing zombies. And this is one of those games I feel like every time I played it, I found something different too. Like, just different scenarios that I didn't find the first time. And, you know, you're also unlocking skills and stuff as you go on. And eventually I did finish the main story as well, which was a lot of fun. But, like, for the most part, I was just messing around in the mall and just, like, whatever happened, whatever I ran into, I just, like, that's what I dealt with, you know. But then eventually I did play it, like, sort of as intended, and yeah, that's one of my favorites. Good memories from playing it on the 360 back in the day. I still remember seeing the screenshots in the Xbox magazines, you know, from this game, just like how crazy it looked. Witcher 3, that's a hard one to place for me, I think, because it's a very good game, but it's a while since I did it. And I feel like maybe there was a part of me that thought the combat was a little bit... I'm not gonna say it's bad combat, but like maybe a little bit uninteresting sometimes. And that's like, for some reason I have that in my mind, that I thought the combat could have been better. But that might be... I don't know why I'm thinking that, because it's been a long time since I played it. So this one is a bit hard to place for me. But it's a very good game. The story, the quests, the characters. God damn, this one is tricky. It could be... Oof, because I know objectively this, like, for most people, this should be up here, you know. It's just, it's tricky when my, it's tricky when my memories of the game are a little bit foggy. Maybe put it like... Oh shit, what did I do? Oh, sorry. Maybe I can put it like... Maybe like that. Oof, it's a tricky one. Because I did play through like the whole thing. I think I just completed like every objective in the game except for, you know, all those in Skellige. There's like those underwater barrels with just like kind of mid loot in them. I think that's the only thing in the game that I didn't complete. So I must have enjoyed it quite a lot, you know. So I think I'll put it there. I think that's fair. Okay, moving on. Let's see, what do we have left? We have some fun ones. Grim Fandango. I have a lot of fond memories from that one. That might go in this category. Or maybe down here. Let me think. It's definitely not down here, I know that. Maybe above Dynasty Warriors. Although I've definitely played more Dynasty Warrior stuff. But it is one of those games that has a very specific mood and atmosphere to it that I really enjoy. I think I can keep it here. Actually, maybe there. Maybe even there, to be honest. This is a tricky one. I might... it's either here or here somewhere, I think. Maybe there. Oh, this one is tricky to place. I think this is fair. Maybe above Diablo. And actually, to be honest, I think maybe Diablo goes under Metal Gear Solid. To be honest. Yeah, I think this is pretty fair. Maybe even do this, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's better. I've moved those around a little bit there. But yeah, Grim Fandango, that setting and the style, yeah. And I had like some fond memories of playing that on like this terrible, shitty like giant computer with a giant screen. Yeah. In the kitchen when we were setting up a new house when I was a kid, you know. So yeah, a bit of nostalgia on that one, but yeah, I really want to play that. I should do the remastered one on stream actually. Okay, we're leaving a lot of really good ones down here. Hitman 2, played that a lot back in the day. That might go. Oof. Once again, it's a tricky one because once I put it somewhere, it's weird because I played so much Dynasty Warriors and then maybe it goes here. Yeah, because I remember the game was a little bit frustrating sometimes. Like sometimes I would just like lose because something happened that was like felt a little bit janky sometimes. But like those levels and going through them are just like a lot of fun. And also using the cheat codes, that was also a lot of fun back in the day. Okay, we're getting down into the weeds here. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That is also, let me make sure this is still on screen. Yeah, it's fine. Even if I do that, right? You can still see everything. Symphony of the Night. Maybe I'll put it in D, actually, because I think I've only played for it once. And I think I did it on like the Xbox Marketplace or something. But it was like such a good game, just like... And I'm a big fan of Super Metroid. Which, by the way, is going to go up here somewhere. Oof, tricky one to place. Yeah, maybe there. No, actually, let me think. Oh, I'll sort these later. But Symphony of the Night, I played that and exploring that world and then doing it upside down again, and the boss fights and the weapons and the leveling, and yeah, it's just really good. And the music, yeah, really good stuff. And yeah, I did put Super Metroid here. That's one of my like Super Nintendo like go-to games, and I just, whenever people ask me about like your favorite game of all time, there's like a few that pop into my head immediately, and these some of these are definitely the first stuff I think of, and then this is definitely one of them. That's like one of the ones that is like always like at the top of my mind, although I know like objectively like some of these other games are probably better, but it's just you know, the nostalgia thing is talking. Clear Obscure, I played that here on stream recently, and man, that was a really good game. And this is tough because now I'm talking about a game that I recently played, and I'm putting it up towards or up against games that I've played with the nostalgia glasses fully on. So this one might be tricky to place accurately. It is tricky when I have a mix of old and new games that I've played only like a few months ago, you know. It's a really good game though. The story and the RPG mechanics and the combat system, which is like a mix of turn-based and timing-based. Very tricky to place this right now. Because I feel like I'm doing my old nostalgia games a disservice by putting something recent above them, but it's like I gotta try to be real. Like, I really enjoyed this game. Oof, I'm gonna put it here, or maybe in here somewhere, maybe above Diablo. I think that's... Oof, it feels kind of bad to put it there, because it is so good, but okay, it's there. That's where I put it. Okay, Dark Souls 1. First time I tried playing this, I didn't understand anything. And I just died because I went to the skeletons, and then I went the other way and everything worked out a little bit better. And then once I started another playthrough where I got the Dark Knight sword, that's what kind of gave me the motivation to actually finish the game, because up until then I have been fighting with like some very trash weapons. But when I got the Dark Knight sword and I managed to actually deal some decent damage, I managed to get my way through the game, and yeah, really good. Where should I place that though? Because it does feel a little bit, maybe slow. I'm not sure if I want to say janky, but like a little bit clunky. So it could be a bit frustrating. So, but I did really enjoy it. But I might put it... let's see, did I enjoy it more than Fallout 3? Maybe, because it gives you that sense of achievement to a higher degree. Maybe I'll put it at top of C tier. Nah, it's tricky, but... I mean, I could put it here too. Okay, I'll put it there, I think. Just above Jade Empire. That's decent. And speaking of Dark Souls, we have Dark Souls 3, which from what I remember, I enjoyed that more. Feels a bit more polished and whatever. So, let's put that above Dark Souls 1. But should we put it even higher? Or should we just put it next to it? Because the experience is like very similar. I think maybe, to be honest, I could put them above Diablo. No, I think, yeah, I'll put it there. Yeah, both great games, and yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to say about Dark Souls. It's just like that challenge and that gameplay style that they do. It's so good. It's just like, yeah. I might do something that's a bit controversial. Red Dead Redemption. I could maybe end up doing something controversial with this one. And putting it a bit lower than many people would want. But I mean, it's on the list. It's a good game, guys. So don't... I mean, you can yell at me in the comments, it's fine. But maybe I'll put it... I don't know, it feels a bit wrong to put it in a too low tier, but I'll try to justify it after I do it. Yeah, I mean, I know it's like one of the best games ever made sort of thing. And I did play through the whole thing and I did unlock a lot of stuff. But maybe just to me the like cowboy setting is not the most engaging. Although like the story and the characters and the world and, you know, it's like, it's so good. But it's just like maybe to me, like the kind of old style doesn't feel as engaging as something like a fantasy world like Fable or Star Wars, Dragon Age Origins, or something weird like Persona. Like Western movies and stuff like that, to me is a little bit... the setting is a little bit like bland, if that makes sense. So it's hard for me to put it higher maybe, but I know it's like it's so good, but it's just like I think maybe the setting, you know, like I put San Andreas up here because this setting is more just feels more interesting, you know. So yeah, I'll put it there, and you can write your angry comments now. It's okay, I can take it. Let's see, we have Turtles in Time. I played this on Super Nintendo back in the day a lot, although maybe not... Oof. This is kind of a nostalgia game for me, but I'm not sure if I would put it that high, even with that in mind. I might put it like somewhere like... This is tricky. Maybe at the very top of D tier, because I did play it a lot. But maybe it didn't make the biggest impact, you know? Also, we're almost running out of space here. I hope this is not going to turn into a problem. Okay, well, we still got some games left, and I know a lot of these are S tier, or there's a few of them at the very least. Let's place something... a Donkey Kong Country. Those are also like nostalgia, and this is one of those combination categories where it's Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. My brain can't really differentiate between those three right now. It's like just one thing in my brain because I just played them all. I played those a lot back in the day. But I think on the Super Nintendo it was Super Metroid that really grabbed my brain, you know. So it's a bit tricky to place this one because it's like one of those nostalgia things once again. But I do think I played it more than the Turtles game, so maybe we could put it back here. But they're sort of in that same category. Super Nintendo, played it when I was a kid, and now it's a little bit hard to judge, but I'll put it there. Okay, should we put something in S tier? I'm trying to kind of save them. Maybe, let's have a look. Divinity Original Sin, we can do those two games. They were really good. And I want to play them both on the channel again. Let me think about where would they fit into all of this. Very like good mechanics, like role-playing stuff. And the thing that was so fun about the first one, at least, was you could do so much stuff to creatively manipulate the world around you with like teleportation and the environment and stuff reacting to each other. It was like really, you could get really creative with how you solved problems in this one. I feel like maybe in the second one, I don't remember exactly if they did less of that, but I remember they changed some of the combat stuff, so there was like this armor system now, I think, instead of the weaknesses like in the first one. But I do think like this one had more... It just felt like it had more stuff in it, if that makes sense. Also, I played this one on Tactician mode because I thought I was going to be good at it because I played this one first. Maybe not a good idea. I'm tempted to put it above Grim Fandango, but maybe it doesn't beat it just because of nostalgia. So, but those two, really good. I want to play them both again. So that's probably going to end up on the channel at some point. Also, what happens if I do this now? Okay, you can still see everything. So, okay, I'm just checking. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh boy, it's gonna get difficult from here on out. Fahrenheit or Indigo Prophecy. I really enjoyed that one. Although many people will maybe find it a bit weird. It was one of those games that feels a little bit like a movie, you know, if you know what I mean. And like choices and consequences, and you know, had a very, the premise is so cool. Like the premise hooks you in immediately. Like you're this guy in the bathroom of some diner, and you end up like killing some guy, and you don't know why, and then you have to like figure out how to deal with that. And you can either run out of the bathroom, or you can try to clean up very well, or you can try to clean up and fail, you know, and like the police will try to find evidence, and what happens after that depends on how you reacted in that moment. And the game goes through, I think it's like the predecessor to like Heavy Rain and stuff, which I haven't played. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, but now we have to place it somewhere. Which might be tricky. I'm not sure if I would place it above Time Splitters, because that's one of those that I played a lot. But I think I can safely put it there. And now I'm gonna have to scroll a bit. That's fine. Let's think. What game are we thinking of now? Resident Evil 7. Oh, where am I gonna put that? Because I played that recently on the channel here. So this is not a nostalgia thing. This is just like recently I played that, and I really enjoyed it. Like super good horror game. Let me think. I might put it... Hang on, where is it? I might put it here. In C tier above Hitman 2. Because I didn't really play Resident Evil back in the day, so I'm kind of like a newcomer to the series in a way. But I do really enjoy them. But maybe, yeah, it doesn't get the nostalgia buff, basically, from me being a Resident Evil nerd or anything. But yeah, really good. A very good horror game. So it's definitely on this list. Okay, we're running out of stuff that's not S tier, because there's a few here that are gonna be, well, Yoshi's Island. Okay, yeah. Yoshi's Island. This is a bit of a nostalgia thing. Oh, it's tricky. Should I place it in S? It's a very tricky one. I think maybe it deserves to be in... Oof. Tricky, very tricky. Maybe put it above Fable. I think we have to sort the S tier later. Yeah, I think above Fable. Just like one of my favorite like Super Nintendo things. Just like, oh, so fun, and such a good art style and everything. I can still hear the sound of Mario screaming in my ear. Like I can still hear it inside my brain now. I don't need to find it on YouTube or anything. I can just hear it internally, very clearly. Okay, what else? We have a few games left. And there's a lot of good ones here. And there's one game that a lot of people would probably hate, but it's on here for me anyway. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Oh, I know that I probably enjoyed this more than Resident Evil 7. So it's gonna go above that. Do I enjoy it more than... more than just Dynasty Warriors? Yes, probably. More than Jedi Knight. They have the nostalgia buff, after all. Oh, that's tricky. Because a lot of the competition from here on out is very nostalgia heavy. I might... Okay, I think maybe we can put it... Oh, above Fallout? Maybe not. Above Dead Rising? Maybe not, based on all that fun I had with that game. I don't think I can put it above that. And I think, to be honest, these two go over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I've only played the remake. I didn't play the original. Amazing game. Just super enjoyable. Yeah. Great stuff. Okay. It's gonna get... Well, we can finish up the Resident Evil stuff. Village. Oh, I mean... Oh, I'm tempted to do something controversial because I felt like these two were... I felt like this was sort of a continuation of what Resident Evil 4 was starting. But I'm not sure if I enjoyed it more. Oh, it's a tricky one. I felt like there were a few things in this one that put me a little bit off sometimes. Maybe I'll knock that down here. Maybe down there. I'm just thinking out loud now. Well, we can also ask ourselves, did I enjoy it more or less than Resident Evil 7? I think I enjoyed it a little bit more. Because it leaned in a bit more into game mechanics that I feel like Resident Evil 4 was doing so well. Whereas Resident Evil 7 is more like purely just horror, which I really like. But it was a lot of fun, the way they made this. But this is a better horror game, I would say. Oh, it's a tricky one to decide on this. I think I'll keep it like this. I really enjoyed this one, I remember that. So I think I can keep it like that, and that's safe. Okay, we can finish Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh, it's tricky. Let me think. Which one did I enjoy the most? 7 or 2? Well... Oh, it feels bad. Oh, because they're all so good. I think maybe I could put it here. I think it's... But it's also weird because I played them all sort of back to back. So in my mind, maybe that's why I'm grouping them together so much. That like in my mind, they're sort of in this same spot in my brain. It's a tricky one, but I'll put it there. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't piss anyone off. Okay, we got... Okay, Elden Ring. If we think about it from the point of view of Dark Souls, I think I enjoyed it more than Dark Souls 1 and 3. Just because it's like such a big world and it felt more expansive and whatever. So I think I can... I probably enjoy that more than Diablo. Did I enjoy it more than Clear Obscure? Maybe, yeah. More than Condemned. Condemned has the nostalgia buff, which is very powerful indeed. But did I enjoy Elden Ring more than The Witcher, if I think about that? If I think about it that way, maybe The Witcher should be here instead of the opposite, actually. No, I think The Witcher deserves this spot. It might be hard to push Elden Ring above Metal Gear Solid 2. But that has a big nostalgia buff. I think it lands there. Yeah, so more enjoyable than Dark Souls 1 and 3 for me. A little bit above it in the... Yeah. Okay, now we have almost just S tier again left. Maybe Heroes 3. Where am I gonna put this? This is another one that we might put... This one is kind of tricky to place. I've had a lot of enjoyment out of these games over the years though. So yeah, maybe there. Just playing this game with the AI and doing the random maps and the scenario maps and playing it at your friend's house and like competing, it's just like... Oh, it's so good. And the style and the music and everything. Such a good game. Oh, I'm not sure if I would put it above Halo, because that was such an important game for me. I think I'll leave it here. Okay, now we own Fallout New Vegas. This is a game I only completed all the way one time, I think. And then I did one playthrough that was like almost complete, I think. It's very good. It's very good. It might be one of the best RPGs ever. It might sneak into S tier. It's a bit scary though, because it's a long time since I played it. I think maybe it deserves to go above Fable. It's just such a fantastic RPG. I think we're gonna put it there. I think that's fair. And that's a game I want to play on this channel again, by the way. Okay, here we're gonna go with some... Basically, spoiler alert, all of these are probably gonna be S tier. Baldur's Gate 3. This is a problem because I played this recently, you know, like last year or so. But it's very good. It's like sort of like Divinity Original Sin, but just like a bit different and probably just even better in almost every way. Oh, this one is tough to place accurately. Above Fable, I think that's okay to put it above Fable. Do you want to put it above Fallout New Vegas? I think maybe so. And now it's tough. Do I want to actually knock down Yoshi's Island with the nostalgia buff? It's actually very tricky for me to decide on that. Maybe, yeah, I think we can take it up there. I think that's okay. Some of these games, we have to sort this ranking later. Morrowind, that's an S tier one. That's going to be competing for first place with something. I know that much. It's definitely going to be one of the contenders for first place. And actually, this is one of the other contenders for first place. Shenmue 2. Well, we can talk about Morrowind a little bit. It's just like, yeah, out of all the Elder Scrolls stuff that I've played, it's like the most, has the best atmosphere, and it's more deep, and the world is like very unique and strange. And yeah, I played this back in the day when I got it on the Xbox. and it's just like you have this whole world to explore, and there's like stuff everywhere and little quests and hidden stuff that you can find in the nooks and crannies of the world. It just feels very handcrafted, you know. Shenmue 2, like, oh, this might be my favorite game of all time. Just the setting of the Japanese and Chinese scenario, the main character and the characters he meets, and you know, the sort of martial arts sort of combat and all that stuff. And there's like, you know, you're watching this character grow throughout the journey, and it's like a really, it's just like, it feels like a very, yeah, it feels like a big adventure, like when he travels to China by himself, and it's just like, it really gives you that sense of adventure. And yeah, this game to me is like, it's spoiler, it's probably gonna be #1, just so you know. Silent Hill 2. Oof. Also now stuff is going off the thing, so maybe I need to actually force something down into this other category. Maybe we could do that. Let's see, where do we want to put Silent Hill 2 though? It is one of my favorites. I'll probably put it above. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I might put it here. Yeah, just a horror masterpiece, you know. And I played the original back in the day, and I've played the remake here on the channel. And both of them, to me, kind of deserve this spot. They're both that good. But the original obviously has a very special place for me as well. And maybe it has a bit more of that gritty feel to it. Gabriel Knight 3. This is maybe one of the weirder ones, because a lot of people just hate this one. A lot of people like Gabriel Knight 1, and some people like 2, and then almost everyone seems to hate this one. But this is the one I started with, and it's just like such a interesting sort of point and click sort of adventure game in the 3D setting. And it's just like, it was so interesting back in the day to just like fly the camera around the city or the town and explore and try to figure out this little mystery that was going on. And yeah, to me, this is one of my favorites. I think it's going to be controversial to put this, like, because I know so many people hate this one, and it has a lot of problems, and it's just like goofy and strange. So to put this above something like Persona 5, Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout New Vegas, and like stuff, you know, it feels a bit wrong, but it's just one of those games. So I think we're gonna have to like move some things down so we can actually fit it all onto the screen. So Fable gets demoted to A tier. I'm okay with that, I feel like. Fallout New Vegas is another one. I think it can stay at the top of A tier, and that'll be okay. Now let's debate the top things here. These four are going to be a bit tricky. Shenmue 2, I feel like I can confidently say that that is my favorite game. It just has such a special place for me. The story, the characters, and the Ryo's journey, traveling to China. And this game was like very interesting because you got to see, sort of like with Jade Empire, you get to see like an Asian setting, which is very different from what we're used to, and it feels like very interesting. And the music and the culture and everything in the game, yeah, to me this is like super special. And then at the end, when you go to Guilin and like that nature, and like at the end of the game you're not even fighting anything, you're just like walking through the woods and you're just like experiencing this journey that the character's on, and just like a super special game for me. But then after that, Oh, this is tricky. Morrowind or KOTOR first. That's tricky for me to decide on. I think maybe I keep going back and forth in my head. I keep trying to, because this has like a more engaging story and characters, and I love the Star Wars setting, but then this has that like feeling of like you're just like free in this world, you can just go anywhere. But I have to admit one thing, I actually never completed the main story, even if I played this for who knows how long. So this is one of the games that I want to do on the channel once and for all and finish everything. So maybe because of that, I can demote it below KOTOR. I think that's okay. Yeah. And then for the other stuff, I think mostly it's... I mean, Persona 5... it's a very good game. I could maybe put San Andreas over that because of the amount that of time I spent in that. But this has the nostalgia buff, as you know. I think we can... Oh, it's tricky, but I think we can leave it like that. Yeah, okay, let's check out the other tiers. Is anything here that like doesn't make sense? Seems about right so far. Resident Evil stuff, it's a bit hard for me to... Oh, this is going to be controversial, probably. The fact that I almost put this here is probably the most controversial thing ever. That I almost put this below. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Penumbra, those are good, they can stay there. Half-Life, you know, I'm not like a big first-person shooter guy. I mean, there's not that many of them here. There's like Halo 1, 2, and 3. And then Time Splitters 1 and 2. Half-Life. And then I don't think there's that much like shooting games. Like first person after that, you know. Borderlands, you know. Doom 3. So it's not like my big thing. I guess my big thing is probably like RPGs, you know, like KOTOR 1 and 2, Morrowind, Persona, Baldur's Gate, New Vegas, Fable, Skyrim, Dragon Age, Persona 4. Heroes is sort of RPG. Mass Effect 1 and 2, Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, Elden Ring, Expedition 33, Dark Souls 1 and 2, Jade Empire. Like, there's a lot of RPG, Persona 3, Fallout, you know. Yeah, a lot of RPG stuff. And then I guess there's a fair bunch of horror, like Silent Hill 2. And let's see, Condemned. What else do we have? Condemned again. Dead Rising, kind of horror. Penumbra. Resident Evil, all of that. And then we have Doom. Yeah, Bioshock's a little bit horror. Yeah, I feel decently confident about that list. I feel like that's about the correct ranking. I might have forgotten some games, but I think this is it. I think this is going to be what the end result is. So, I hope you enjoy that. Let me know if some of these games are your favorites. Let me know if you disagree with some rankings, or if there's something you feel like I would enjoy playing that's not on here. So feel free to suggest that, because I'm always looking for good games. And yeah, comment just about anything, and please like the video and also subscribe and tune into the live streams. I'll probably be playing some of these games eventually. In fact, I've been playing some of them already, you know. So you might catch me playing them. And there's also playthroughs of a bunch of these on my channel already, like the Resident Evil games, and we got, what else do we have? Silent Hill 2, we got Persona 5, Persona 4, and no, actually Persona 4, I haven't done that on the channel. Persona 3 I've done, and Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring. Should maybe do a different playthrough of that eventually, but whatever. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, and leave any comments, and yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye bye.